Well, in the latest move in his anti-gun agenda, President Biden today signed an executive order that increased the number of background checks conducted before a gun sale, in a move that the White House says brings the U.S. closer to universal gun checks as possible without additional legislation. The president unveiled his new executive order in Monterey, California, where 11 people were killed during a Lunar New Year celebration in January. Joining us now with reaction, Georgia Congressman and gun shop owner Andrew Clyde. Congressman, good to see you. Listen, President Biden said that his executive action on universal checks, because Congress won't pass such laws. This is what he had to say just a little while ago. Take a listen.
Congressional Republicans should pass my budget instead of calling for cuts in these services or defunding the police or abolishing the FBI, as we hear from our MAGA Republican friends. But let's be clear. None of this absolves Congress the responsibility from the responsibility of acting to pass universal background checks. So here's the thing. He's basically trying to say later on that what he's doing in this executive order is consistent with what you guys already passed. Do you agree with that or not?
No, Sean, I don't agree with that whatsoever. What we passed was not universal background checks. Universal background checks are a precursor to registration, which is a precursor to confiscation. That's exactly where he's going with this.
So you think that in order to have a background check, because how many people that go to your gun shop right now don't have to have a gun? How many people, let's start the affirmative way, how many people right now when they go into your gun shop have to have a background check?
Well, I mean, if you have a carry permit, you've already had your background check. So every solitary person that buys a firearm either has to have a background check or has to have a carry permit, which means they've had a background check already. So everybody right now, everybody.
So I guess what I'm getting at is, to the average person out there who is saying, well, what is he doing that's so offensive to law-abiding gun owners? Why can't we just do this? What would your answer be?
Well, what I think he's trying to do is redefine the definition of what a federal firearms licensee is and make it so that anybody that sells more than one gun has to become a federal firearms licensee, which is like starting your own business, which is wrong. Or forcing people to go through federal firearms licensees in order to sell a gun, and that's wrong too. I mean, he's trying to create a national database of people who own guns, and that just is not the right thing. That destroys little bit by little bit our constitutional rights, our Second Amendment rights.
So as a gun shop owner, how much more burdensome would something like this be on a small business owner that runs a gun shop?
This is going to be a huge burden on small business owners, on gun shops. You know, either large manufacturers, small gun shop owners, large gun shop owners, all of us. This will increase our burden. I mean, this is what President Biden's trying to do, is go around Congress and do what Congress refuses to do because it's not the right thing to do.
So how about as a buyer, if I want to go in, how much more of a burden would this be as someone who wants to purchase a firearm?
I mean, I don't think there'll be much more of a burden on someone who wants to purchase a firearm, but as someone who wants to sell a firearm, there will be a tremendous burden on them. And then on dealers to maintain their licensing, there will be additional burdens on them too.
Okay, and so do you think that this is, aside from the executive order, in terms of Congress, this is going nowhere?
We are going to defund this. That's my game plan on this. It's simply unacceptable for the president to try and legislate through an executive order. So I think defunding it is the right solution.
Okay. Congressman Clyde, appreciate the insight. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean.